Welcome to the Holistic Kids Show. I'm Zane.
I'm Imad.
And I'm Carson.
We're the Holistic Kids, here to educate us kids from the inside out. Happy first day of summer!
We are all excited to be out of school and enjoy some time at home. The sad reality is that some kids don't feel peace at home.
And why would that be?
It could be because their side comments, snipping, yelling, problems with their physical environments. Is there no peace because everyone's running off in different directions? Are you guys never together? There are so many reasons why a child may not feel at peace.
So what is a kid to do?
Well, we have the perfect expert here with us to help us take control and build that peace from the inside out.
Miss Sarah R. Moore. Is that how you say your name?
Yep.
She's the author of The Peaceful Discipline, story teaching, brain science, and better behavior, and the founder of Dandelion Seeds Positive Parenting. As a certified master trainer in conscious parenting and board chair for the American Society for the Positive Care of Children, she's also the public speaker, parent coach, armchair, neuroscientist, and most importantly, a mom.
Her work has been featured on NBC, CBS, and SiriusXM, and in countless international parenting magazines, with training in child development, trauma, recovery, interpersonal, neurobiology, improve comedy, and play. Her work supports parents and caregivers around the globe.
So thank you. Thankful she is here with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being and joining us today
on our podcast. We are so honored.
We are so honored.
Thank you so much. And I have to say, you guys pronounced those really long, tricky words better than a lot of adults do. So excellent work there.
What made you so passionate about positive parenting? We would love to know your story.
Yeah, so honestly, it's kids like you. As I mentioned, I have one of my own, and I see that the world is a really tricky place. There's a lot of pain, there's a lot of tough stuff in the world that really doesn't have to be that way. And I believe firmly that children learn when they're growing up whether life is peaceful or whether life is scary and dangerous. And the kids who grow up believing that life is scary and dangerous end up being the ones to contribute more scariness and danger to others in the world. However, the kids who are raised knowing what true peace actually feels like in their body, liking their life, feeling safe with their adults and the people who care about them, these are the kids who want to make the rest of the world more like that. I want a safer, better, healthier, happier world for you guys, just like I want it for my own daughter. Because one day, if ever you should meet, I would want you to be able to talk and say, yeah, the world is a pretty good place. Let's hang out and be friends and have a good, healthy relationship together.
So family is really important, but sometimes kids today don't find joy in their families. Even when they spend time together, they're always on their phones. What are you seeking in your practice? How can we find joy in our families again?
I don't know.
Well, you did mention that they can be, hard for a lot of adults and frankly hard for a lot of kids who have phones. Technology is around us all the time. And it's really easy to get distracted and get sucked into the little things we hold in our hands a lot of the time, when really these machines aren't authentic relationships, not in the same way that being able to look at and touch and play with kids like you actually is available in front of us all the time. So one thing that I would love it, myself included, if adults and children would spend more time doing is honestly just looking at each other instead of looking at all of the devices all the time. Because when we spend time actually connecting, we learn what brings each other joy. We learn how to get along better. We learn how to work through any conflicts that we might have, because we're not hiding behind our devices pretending that the conflict isn't there. We actually become much better problem solvers when we do that. But that being said, phones are real. They are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. So it's not just about the phones. And I don't want to offer shame to anybody who feels like that's, you know, the message I'm sending. It's not at all what I'm trying to send. Honestly, an even bigger piece, in my opinion, is we need to figure out what brings us joy together. What do we love doing together? And then be really intentional about doing those things. Like, for example, I'm just going to make this up and I'm going to make some guesses. Will you guys tell me whether I'm right or wrong about these things as I throw them out? Okay, I'm going to make a guess. Do you or do you not love cleaning the house? I'm going to guess you don't love that. Is that true?
No, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It has to get done, so we do it, but no one likes it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't like it.
I'm with you. I don't love doing it either. And yet we spend a lot of time doing that sort of thing. But what about things like going to a park or going out for a special treat or, you know, spending time in nature, riding bikes, doing sports, you know, whatever it may be? Do you like doing things like that?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Yeah.
Having an adventure. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
Fuck.
yeah. In fact, I would love to ask each of you, what is your very favorite thing to do outside?
Go to the park.
Play any sport.
Yeah, like sports.
Sports. Okay. And do you have any favorite sports?
Soccer.
Running and soccer. And maybe basketball.
I would go for, I have 3: soccer, basketball, and football. American football.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of really good options there. I think those are fantastic. And yet when we spend time inside our houses together all the time, I'm going to guess you probably don't get to play a lot of soccer, basketball, football, running. You don't do that a lot inside your house, do you?
Yeah, it's like too small to do it.
Yeah, we have to go outside because then
It
we're
does
gonna
more
break
space.
something.
Exactly. Yeah. I only knew one family ever where the kids could play any sport they wanted to inside the house, and a lot of stuff did get broken. But for most families, you have to go outside together. But part of our habit as humans is to stay inside a lot and just keep doing what we always do. So we have to really make a plan and say, on this day, at this time, we're going to go outside together as a family so we can play soccer together, so we can play football together, so we can do whatever it is. Whether or not your parents are doing it with you, they can at least be observing you and watching how much fun you're having, because things like that are so connecting for families, and even for the families who maybe prefer to do different things. Some families like to take walks or hikes. I live in Colorado, so there are lots of pretty places to go outside and hike. There are lots of things that different families like to do, but figure out what it is that brings your family joy and create time and prioritize it as much as any other appointment you would possibly have, a doctor's appointment, or even going to school for that matter. You do those things because they're habit. We have to create habits that bring us closer together so we can feel more joy intentionally together on a regular basis. And let me ask you, you guys are actually the fun experts. How does that sound to you?
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we are experts.
You are. We've got to play together, because I've got a secret for you guys, and it's not a secret because I'm about to tell it to everybody who's listening. But adults actually like to play too. Oftentimes we just forget how because we're so busy working all the time or cleaning or cooking or whatever. But it's actually really healthy for adults to play and do things that bring them joy too. And the more we can do that, it doesn't have to look the same as it does for kids, but the more we can spend time doing things we love doing, the more energy we have for you and spending time with you doing fun things together, because we actually do love doing that when we can get our heads out of work mode all the time.
When kids are at home, what can we do to create the most peace in our homes when it feels that it can be impossible?
Such a good question. So everybody has a body, right? We all have a body. And yep, I see 3 of them right there. And because you have a body, you have something called a nervous system, right? And you have emotions, and all of these things are in your body at any given time. And the thing is, emotion, a lot of people don't realize this, but emotions are actually contagious. Because you guys used all the big words earlier, I'm going to use another big word here. But we have something called mirror neurons in our brains that basically means I'm going to pick up how you're feeling, you're going to pick up how I'm feeling. I'm hoping that because right now I'm in a really good mood, I like talking to you guys, that's showing and that you're feeling peaceful and comfortable in my presence because I like you. So we do this all the time with the people we're around, but it has to start with us. I can't look at any one of you through my pretend grouchy face here and say, it's your job to make me happy. That's impossible, right? Whose job is it to make me happy?
You.
Yeah, right in here. So if I can figure out how am I feeling right now, what do I need in order to feel connected to you? Well, if I can show up for myself and say, you know what, it's actually been 200 years since I've had a glass of water. Maybe I'd feel better if I had a glass of water. I've got to do that, or get that snack, or do my meditation or my prayer or whatever my thing might be so that I can feel more peaceful in here. Because when I feel peaceful in here, I have more peace to share with you out there. But I'm going to throw this the other direction too. If you guys are feeling frustrated or angry or having a tough day, does that ever happen in real life? Do you ever have days that are kind of rough?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're human, right? And all of your feelings make sense. That is perfectly normal and healthy. But is it somebody else's job to fix it, to make it go away, to put a Band-Aid on it? Or is it something that you tend to own because you know that it's actually kind of your job to do your part?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard. Nobody likes it. We would all like it if we could just go press a magic feel better button, right? But we all have our own nervous system. We all have to figure out what is it that I'm needing right now? What is it that I'm feeling? And when I can show up for myself and find a way to work through whatever tricky feelings I might be having, whether I'm an adult or a child, then I can say to others, hey, I'm kind of struggling right now. I would really like it if I could have a hug, if I could read a book with you, if I can go play soccer with you, whatever it is that I'm feeling would help me feel better. But I have to be able to communicate that. Likewise, for adults, it might be, I need that drink of water and then I'll feel better. But we have to figure out how we can take care of our own bodies in a way that we can feel more peaceful together. So nobody else is responsible for fixing our stuff. And I say that especially to the adults because, again, I'm going to tell you guys something that maybe some adults don't talk about very much. Sometimes adults can be guilty of blaming their kids for their stress levels because we live together and maybe the child isn't doing what we're asking or whatever. So it's really easy to get frustrated and say, if only you would do this thing, I would feel better. But reality is, just like I was saying, the peace has to come in us. And we have to figure out how can we work together. Because guess what? Kids and parents actually really do want to get along. And we really do want to do well for each other. We as adults want to do a really good job for you. We want to be really amazing parents for you. And I'm going to ask the 3 of you again, do you guys actually want to do a good job for your parents, or do you wake up and think, I can't wait to ruin my parents' day?
Well, I think, yeah, I want to do things for my parents.
Yeah.
I want to,
help them.
Of course, because you love them, right? You
Because,
can't
like, when they're sad, it's like, then it, like, when they're angry and stuff, it puts more of a mood onto us.
Exactly. Yeah, and we are designed for connection. We are designed to live in relationship with one another and be, supportive of one another. So yeah, I mean, a lot of adults forget that you guys are actually doing the very best you can at any given moment with the emotional resources you have. So I say that as a reminder to all of the adults out there who are listening and saying, your kids are trying so hard and they really want to do a good job for you. There's not a child on the planet who says, I want to ruin my parents' day. So I want all the adults and all of the children to know everybody's trying. And I want you guys to know too, and any other kids who might be listening, your parents love you so, so much. And even on the days when they're struggling and when they're having a tough day and maybe even taking it out on you sometimes, they don't mean to take it out on you, because we love our kids and we want you to be healthy and happy and feeling connected and joyful.
Wow.
Let's talk about our nervous system. What are other things we can do to create that peace from the inside out? This is something we can do use the summer to practice.
Such a good question again. So one of the biggest things that I can say about the nervous system is that it's never wrong, ever. Your nervous system will always tell you exactly what it's needing. So if you are feeling happy, do you let yourself smile?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, the three of you have absolutely great smiles. You have completely contagious smiles, and it's lifting me up from the inside out. So thank you for the lovely smiles that you have. There they are, right there. And if you are feeling angry, for example, your body, yeah, there's an angry face. I like that one. Yeah. Your body's not wrong there either. So the goal is to figure out show me your best angry faces. Those are some serious angry faces right there. Wow, I'm intimidated. Whoa, muscles too. That's amazing. So when you feel angry, your body is not wrong there either. So the goal is to figure out, how can I get this feeling? How can I express this feeling in a way that will do no harm? But obviously, it doesn't mean go attack your brother. You know, I'm guessing you might have heard that once or twice in your life, because humans do things like that, right?
Mhm.
But instead, we get to figure out things like, okay, we've got a couple of options. Do you guys want to try these along with me and see what feels good to your body?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the play along at home. Anybody who's listening or watching, feel free to do this with us as well. And thank you to my wonderful three good sports here as well. So let's pretend you're super duper angry right now, and you want to yell, but does yelling actually help anything? Not
No.
so much, right? But you know what can? This is a one for some people. We have something, and this is nervous system science, and even something called polyvagal theory that I'm going to throw out there. We all have something called the vagus nerve in our nervous system. I'm touching my neck because it kind of goes down this way and then through my body. But the vagus nerve is a master communicator in the body. And one of the reasons that people sometimes want to yell is that yelling actually kind of tones the vagus nerve, just like we tone our muscles to get nice and strong. When we yell, it tones the vagus nerve. But we've already established that yelling isn't actually helpful. If anything, yelling can increase our feelings of aggression. But there's something that's very similar to yelling that we can do that's just different enough to have the same effect of toning the vagus nerve without being aggressive. Do any of you happen to have a guess what it might be? Otherwise, I can tell you.
Calm yourself down.
Meditation, mindfulness.
Excellent guesses. Excellent guesses. What I'm actually talking about is singing. Do you guys?
Singing.
Yeah, because you're still communicating with louder volume than usual and more gusto than usual, right? But for the parents out there, I'm going to invite you to try this. And then, actually, let's all do this together. Are you guys up for it? I can embarrass myself publicly online. Are you guys up for doing that with me for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You are wonderful sports once again. Just because we probably all know this song, let's just sing together the very first line. And huge disclaimer, I am not a professional singer. I'm a parenting person, so I apologize to everybody's ears out there. Let's sing just the first few words, the first line of the Happy Birthday song. Will you sing that with me?
Sure.
Sure.
Right. Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Maud.
Happy
birthday to me.
to you. Yeah, exactly. So
Look at me.
notice in your body that when you were singing, it was a little bit louder than your speaking voice, and you were singing from down here rather than up here. Did you notice that in your body?
I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, I think about singing.
Yeah, you were thinking about singing, but I can tell you those are a couple of the magical things about the nervous system that you actually did. Now I'm going to tell you how this relates to anger. When we're angry, we're usually super tense and we're kind of hyperventilating and breathing in really shallow breaths right here, just like that. But when I sing, I'll take deeper breaths, I exhale a little bit longer, and all of that is calming to the body. So for the adults out there, I'm going to throw out this idea. It's going to sound ridiculous, but I want to run it past you guys. Let's pretend for a second that you can imagine an adult yelling at you to go, I don't know, we talked about cleaning, so I'll say go clean your room. But if I'm not going to yell at you, just so you know, I'm not going to yell at you, but you can imagine what that would feel like. What if the adult, exactly, it makes you pull back, it's kind of scary, but what if the adult remembers in the moment, I can sing instead, and they sing, go clean your room. Does that feel more
That's
peaceful to you? Yeah, it's silly, but I'm guessing it feels more peaceful if I yell go clean your room, right? But from the adult's perspective in their body, they're actually toning their vagus nerve and calming their body while still meeting their body's desire for volume and gusto. So that's one tip somebody can use. Something else you can do for nervous system. All I see are your heads and your shoulders. Do you have toes?
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad you checked. Wiggle your toe. You're wiggling your toes?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, well, you just reminded your nervous system that you have a whole body here. Because again, when we're angry, we spend a lot of time from here to here. But even as a child or an adult, if you're angry, you can wiggle your toes because it's instantly grounding for you. That you have a whole body that is here to love and support you and help get you out of that angry feeling so that you can be more peaceful with one another. So after you wiggled your toes, are you aware that you got them down there? Do you still have to look to see if they're there?
No.
No?
No,
Yeah, you
they're there.
trust that all 10 are still there, just where you left them this morning, right?
Yeah.
A couple of examples. I have lots and lots of examples in my book, Peaceful Discipline, and other places of different grounding techniques that people can use when they're feeling like their nervous system is overwhelmed. But there's so many things that you can do to work with your body. And I'm going to share one other thought. Sometimes people say, oh, just calm down. That's actually pretty much impossible. Because if your body and your nervous system are telling you that you feel something, go with it. Trust it. Your body will never lie to you. So if you can say, how can I do this in a way where it's going to be peaceful and not do any harm, but also honors what my body is telling me to do, I can stomp when I'm mad. I can sing. I can wiggle my toes. None of those things are going to hurt anybody, except for maybe the singing if they don't like my singing. But that's just a joke, right? How does it feel to you? Would that create a little bit more peace versus yelling and tension and stuff like that? How would that feel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ask really good questions. There are lots and lots of things like that that you can do, but those are just a couple that hopefully people of all ages can use. Because nobody likes carrying stress around in their bodies. I don't.
Yeah.
I know it does. That is amazing.
I love this. It's also amazing. What is one thing kids and parents can do to master their own peace
Today.
right now? Today.
Today.
Like they're gonna go
At
like
this second.
like
Yeah,
they're going
right now and today. One thing that parents and kids can do is talk about how you're feeling. Talk about what's going on for you. Because many of us, adults and kids, walk around feeling things at any given moment, right? I feel stuff right now. In fact, again, I keep putting you guys on the spot, but I'm going to ask if you're willing to play along with me one more time.
Sure.
If I were to ask, thank you. If I were to ask each of you, how are you feeling right now? Just give me one adjective or describing word that tells me how you feel in this exact moment. There are no wrong answers.
Cold.
Oh yeah, it is kind of cold.
Okay.
What is a good word for what I'm feeling right now? It's like I'm tired, but I'm like happy, and I'm like
Cold.
and cold.
What is cold in this room?
Being cold. Okay. All right. So let's see. For you, you're cold. Before I asked you, did anybody know that you were cold? Or were you kind of keeping that to yourself?
Well, I wasn't really thinking that as much.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Well,
now I'm thinking that we should turn the heater on.
there you go. Yeah, you could turn the heater on, grab a sweater, grab a blanket. There's something you can do. But if you tell somebody, they can say, "Oh, I can support you with that," right? But instead, if you just walk around cold and you're shivering for too many hours, odds are pretty good that it's going to affect your mood in a negative way. And people might say, "Gosh, what's wrong with him? He's having a tough day." But it might be as simple as a sweater, right? And for you, you're feeling, you said you were feeling kind of tired but happy. Those are great things. Again, there's no right or wrong emotion because all feelings are just information. None of them are bad. They're all information. But it can also help to tell people, hey, I'm feeling happy right now. I'm kind of tired, but I'm happy. But just being able to communicate, I'm going to take those apart separately. If you tell your parents, I'm kind of tired, that's good information for them to have. Because if they were thinking, oh, well, maybe we'll stay up extra late tonight and do this thing, knowing that you're tired is actually good because they can support your body better that way. And if they know that you're feeling happy, they can say, fantastic, what's working well for you today? How can we do more of that thing? So we can support each other. Likewise, for the adults who are listening to this, talk about how you're feeling too. Because, and again, if I come into this interview and I'm all grouchy and crabby and really unpleasant, you might think, is it something I said? Did I offend her somehow? Not at all. But if I say, oh, you know what, I'm feeling kind of grouchy, but it's because I forgot to get that glass of water I needed, so I'm going to go get that, and then I'll feel better. It really helps to communicate with one another so we know what's going on in here, and we don't have to guess all the time, and then we can support each other better. How does that feel to you guys when I say that? Does it feel accessible or does it feel super hard?
It's definitely not complicated. I think we learned to tell everyone their feelings in like kindergarten. So
Exactly.
So thank you so much. This is
So
really powerful. This is a really powerful interview. We are so thankful for your time and wisdom today.
Please tell us more about you and your amazing work, especially your coaching program.
Yes, thank you for asking. So you got my name right. I'm Sarah Moore, middle initial R for people who look me up on Google, just because I don't know how common your names are, but my name is super common. And if you Google Sarah Moore, you're going to get like 10 million of me on the planet. So if people are looking me up, middle initial R. I am the founder of Dandelion Seeds Positive Parenting, the author of Peaceful Discipline. I am a parent coach with an accredited parent coaching program that actually has a couple of new groups starting later this summer for parents who want evidence-based support to feel more peace, joy, and connection with their kids. So I give really actionable and specific tips about how to make life easier and lighter, and frankly, how we end up having a lot more fun together as parents and kids, because we want to like each other. We want to get along really well. We want to feel that peace in our home. So I've got the training and the certifications and all that stuff, but most importantly, as I mentioned, and some of you, I'm a real life parent. So I care deeply about kids like you and obviously my own child too. And I really want a better, healthier, safer, more joyful life for all the kids on the planet. That's why I do the work that I do. So thank you guys for doing this work that you do, because I have to say, you are some of my favorite interviewers ever. And I would gladly reconnect with you at any point, because the three of you are an absolute joy.
It's our pleasure.
It's our pleasure.
Let's recap Miss Sarah's key points.
We want a safe, healthier world. We all have emotions. Emotions are contagious. It has to start with us. It's not your job to make anyone happy. We need to have more peace in our body. The more peace that we radiate, we all have, and we all have a nervous system. We need to show up for ourselves. We need to communicate with others of what we need also, so we can feel more peaceful together. Talk to us, please, adults. And I guess technically we should talk to them too, as that is the only way that we can support each other. Communication is key.
When we spend time inside together, we keep doing what we always do. We need to schedule time together as a family, because that will be very connecting for families. Find out what brings your family joy and prioritize that to create a habit that creates more joy.
Your nervous system is never wrong. If you're feeling angry, your body is not wrong. Figure out the vagus nerve is a master communicator. Yelling can increase our feelings of aggression. Try singing. If you are angry, you can wiggle your toes. Grounding techniques can also help you calm your brain down. Trust your body. Your body is not going to lie to you.
Adults like to play too, but they're just busy. The more the family spends time together, the more energy we have together.
Check out Miss Sarah's coaching program and her book today.
Today. Like right now. Go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for everyone tuning in. Until next time, I'm Zanzai.
I'm Imad.
And I'm Kasim.
Follow my family and I on social media. Holistic Mom D. Look out for our book coming out 2025, The Teen Health Revolution. Kids need to learn from other kids. Please download our podcast on iTunes and leave reviews so other kids and families can benefit. We need to create a healthier future for all of us and the planet. Join us next week for another episode of the Holistic Kid Show. We're kids, our prime kids. Thank you, everyone.
Everyone.